of people balling. You go rethink some certain things. So as we are complaining, some people are just sitting at home and making money, making profits, living life. They're just cool. They're just not so out there, but man, they're chilling. And that I think I understand when some of them don't really want to pay attention to certain laxities in the economy, or when people are complaining to them, they're like, are you living in a different part of Nigeria? Because right now so yeah, they've already planned their events, and December is close. Dirty December. Our friends and family and Nigerians in diaspora would want to visit home and come visit family, have fun, have a taste of the Nigerian vibe. Lagos will definitely be full. I'm sure most of the Airbnbs are already booked till possibly ending of January, so it's a very busy period. But one thing I want us to keep in mind is that please, wherever it is you're traveling to, be careful. The roads are not safe. I have seen some gory videos. I don't know how recent the video was. Somebody sent me that video on Facebook. It was I just wish I didn't view it. It was not good. It was terrible. No human being should go through that. People shouldn't go through that. You don't just murder people just like that. No reason. You just went ahead and murdered people. And the way they did it, they didn't even do it swiftly. In fact, I don't want to talk about it, but please, I want us to be very careful. Harrison Gwamisho complains of getting requests every day of their family and loved ones being kidnapped. And this is the period, so they already know that people are traveling home, and they're already checking out some routes, staging themselves there, and they're brazen in their activities. That's the annoying thing. I do hope that, as the president had promised to tackle this, that he's actually working on doing that, because Nigerians cannot just not be able to go about their businesses because of these individuals who just think they are God to take people's lives in their hands. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Evening Rush. My name is Esther Nwachukwu. Today is the 14th day of November 2025. Yes, it's gradually coming to an end for us to get into December, and my leave is also commencing next week. So yeah, I'll be joining you for the political spotlight on Sunday, and then from next week my leave commences. I do hope that you're able to be very beautiful and nice to my colleague Chema Innocent. She'll be the one handling the Evening Rush for the next 2 weeks after this Friday. So please, I would implore you to possibly work along with her. It's going to be a very beautiful moment. Well, one in VOP 90.3 FM. All right, join us on our YouTube application on at VOP 903 FM. Once you go to iOS or Android device, just go to the YouTube application and type VOP 903 FM. So what are the conversations that we're going to be having this evening? One of the conversation, that there was a stampede at the defense minister's home, and that's Alhaji Bello Matawali in Gusau, Zamfara State. One person dead, 6 others injured. The incident happened around 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. There was a large crowd that gathered to welcome the minister. According to Zagazula Makama on his X handle, the situation became chaotic and led to a stampede. Victims, including 23-year-olds who were confirmed dead. One of them died in the stampede, and also others were taken to the hospital because of serious injuries. And officials said the remaining injured victims are receiving treatment, but they are currently in stable condition. The security personnel have been deployed to restore order. Investigations are underway as to how the situation escalated to the point where there was no order, no barricade whatsoever, that persons died. It actually calls for a case of concern as to this period where large number of persons gather somewhere. There's a mammoth crowd, and there's no means of controlling such areas, specifically to avoid this kind of stampede. You recall last year the same thing happened where some in Anambra State, and I think in Ibadan too, there was a stampede as well. Just as persons were supposed to have fun, there were some charitable prospects that were going to take place, and that was how there was no order or proper organization. The stampede occurred and persons died. So yes, that's part of the situation that occurred. Now apparently there was also some terrorists. I don't like calling them bandits. Some terrorists raided some villages very recently. You remember that ever since President Donald Trump said what he said, the president's reaction or response has been, we don't mind working together with you. And there have been some protocol officers who are on who have opened up diplomatic channels through which the president can have a conversation with the U.S. government and see how they can work together in resolving the situation of insecurity. But these elements have continued to carry on this dastardly attack ever since Donald Trump made this statement, and they seem to do it in broad daylight. They're not afraid of anything. We're wondering what exactly is giving them such impetus to continue on that journey. Apparently yesterday night, armed bandits or armed terrorists, they carried out coordinated attacks on Yarbulutu, Gajit, Al-Kalawa, Gerin, Magaji and Damba communities in Sabon Birnin local government area of Sokoto State. Multiple residents were killed, several others injured. A number of persons were also abducted. Local sources and community members have expressed concerns that the recent arrangements in neighboring Shinkafi local government areas, Zamfara State particularly, the reported truce with bandits under the Bello Turiji faction may be contributing to heightened attacks across Isa and Sabongari local government areas. These concerns are still based on community observations. Now, you know that the Zamfara State governor has been trying to has been having peace, reconciliation or negotiation meetings with these terrorists, and we saw them in their droves. If you have seen some of the videos on social media, in their numbers on motorcycles with different weaponries, RPGs, all they're having a negotiation with the state government and some officials. Now, when you have these individuals, I don't know how many of those groups that the state government intends to negotiate with, because some other groups would want to be recognized by the state government and will also want to be part of the largesse, and that's what's happening. 6 communities were raided at once. They killed persons, abducted persons. I don't think this is a scenario where people need to continue like this. Now, if you have checked social media, you would have seen the picture. There are some things you would not see on traditional media outlets. You already know why. But if you check out for some sources like security sources like Azula Magama, you will see the video of this terrorists in their bikes brazenly, some of them wearing military camouflage, right? And there were many. Like, they took their time in raiding this community. So what is going on? If we had thought that with what Trump said, and that there would have been revamped efforts on most of the borders across some of these volatile areas in the north. So some persons are saying that there is no genocide ongoing. Some persons are saying there is no insecurity. It's all propaganda. How? So are we saying that these pictures and videos are what are false? As if somebody sent me a video, I was calling that person today on Facebook because I wanted to find out how recent that video was. The person sent me a message and said it's passengers that were abducted on Google bus, as GUO, and I was trying to call, is that a recent video or one of the past videos where such an occurrence occurred? Because the terrorists released a video of how those persons were murdered. It was gory. I wished I did not see it. So what is the government doing about this to rout out these individuals? What is the effort being put in place to instill fear? Because I don't think they're afraid for them to continue doing what they're doing. Okay, now the former Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, has passed on. They said that he had cancer, and they also had a case with the EFCC. He was aged 69 years old. So that's an unfortunate situation right there. You know that Willie Obiano, immediately after his tenure ended, we didn't really get to hear anything more about him. He wanted to travel out, but based on the court case, they refused to let him leave the country at the time. His passport was seized. The court did not allow him leave. The EFCC said that he was under investigation and he could not be allowed to leave the country. So yeah, that's one of the unfortunate tragedy that took place or that we heard about today. Now, the president has shifted 15% fuel import duty to the first quarter of 2026. Initially, we heard that there was no dates precisely set for that yes, it has always been there, but that the president has not assented to it. There's no specific date for that. Well, the federal government has approved that postponement of the implementation to the first quarter of the year 2026, contrary to earlier notions that the suspension was indefinite. It wasn't indefinite. So in the first quarter of 2026, the 15% fuel tax will actually be implemented. So what does that mean? We're going to be discussing that this evening with my analyst. I'm going to be speaking with one of the Labour Party candidates who is also somebody who is in the obedient movement. The reason why I want to speak with him is very imperative. Now, we already know what is going on within the movement, and the big question is, what is going on with the opposition? At what point will they decide that they need to be precise and decisive in their action to be a very strong, formidable, structured force? Because as it stands right now, like we heard during the World News at 6, Mr. Elvis said that he doesn't think, as it stands today, if there's an election conducted today, that the president is going to have a clean sweep for 2027. It also feels like the APC, the All Progressives Congress, is the only political party that has some kind of traction or some form of organization. So what's going on with the other opposition parties and what are they waiting for? We'll be looking into that in the course of the program this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, do kindly stay with us. We'll take a very short break and the program would commence very soon. Alright, thank you for staying with us right here in Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The evening rush still continues. My name is Esther Wachukwu and I have right here in the studio Mr. Tony Mbata. Mr. Tony Mbata, good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, Esther.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I also have Mr. Lawal Ekundire. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Thank you.
Is that mic not too low? You know, say you tall. You know, say you tall.
I want to generate money for Nigeria.
Mr. Lawal Ekundire, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
All right. I also have Elder Yusuf Dambake joining us via the telephone this evening. Elder Yusuf, thank you so much. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, Elder Yusuf Dambake is one of the senior members of the Labour Party and also one of the members of the Obedient Movement. Elder Yusuf Dambake, thank you so much for giving us your time. I know you have a lot to do, so let me just go straight to the conversation this evening. Elder Yusuf, as it stands right now in the political space, the APC seems to be the only organized political party. As we are right here in the studio sitting and having this conversation, that is the only party that seems to have some level of structure and organization ahead of 2027. So, Elder Yusuf, what is going on with your party? What is going on with other political parties? We've not really heard anything about them. And then some structure and some movements seem to be going through tough times when they ought to be putting themselves together to be a major force for 2027. What's your reaction to this?
Okay. Once again, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
It looks as though APC is the only party that is organized, because the rest are still struggling to get their acts together, and that is as a result of the APC being infiltrating these parties to ensure that they don't stand. APC is working on a one-party system. They said it openly, it's an open secret, and they are working towards it, and that is not healthy for democracy. So the parties that are not standing are being influenced are being infiltrated by the ruling party. So this is not good. But if you will agree with me, ADC is standing and it's a work in progress. Considering the fact that new people are coming on board, maybe it will see the light of the day because of the caliber of people that are therein. And hopefully we are going to see a strong opposition come 2027 because if APC had allowed multi-party system, I think it would have been better for them, just like Obasanjo did in 2003. But to strangle all the parties, now they will have no option than to join the ADC and to face APC from there.
All right, Ola Yusuf Dambaki, just kindly hold on. So there's a breaking tweet written by the former Anambra State Governor. He's saying that Willie Obiano is not dead. He just responded on a very just a few minutes ago interview with the Punch newspaper, and also tweeted. Now his name is Adinuba. He's describing that particular story isn't true. All the outlets carried it for a very long time. Willie Obiano has really not been in the political space. He's not been seen around. There were talks that he fell ill. There were also talks that he had cancer, and we heard that he had passed on. However, the family members had really not given any indication to suggest that has happened. But some, the information circulated across several media platforms. However, the former governor of Anambra State, who was the governor from 2014 to 2022, the report that went viral concerning his illness and that he passed away from there. Well, Aduba is stressing that Obiano is actually not hospitalized, as is being claimed, that went viral across most media outlets, because I talked about it during the World News at 6 and I just mentioned it earlier as we started off now. Meanwhile, the personal publicist said that he is doing okay and that he is strong, and there is no information about that. Now, you know that the same conversation was had about the former chief of army staff, Taoreed Lagbaja, where we heard the information that he had passed on, but then later they denied that nothing happened to him, all for us to see the president swearing in a substantive acting army chief of staff before we eventually got to confirm that Taoreed Lagbaja has passed on. Well, as it stands now, based on what Adunuba is saying, Willie Obiano is safe and he is not dead, as it's being widely circulated that he is alive and he is healthy. Well, hopefully maybe a video, a picture will be shown of Willie Obiano, how that information circulated. Maybe somebody who is privy to his health status or was there quickly put that out there. So we just wanted to clarify that information. Mr. Elder Yusuf Dambaki, you were saying that for you there are infiltrators that are deliberately ensuring that the opposition does not have any headway. If this opposition know that there are infiltrators creating problem, why are they falling for it? Because it's now becoming old news that every time there is a problem in any opposition party, they would say it's the APC. So what other convincing narrative can be used, and what is the method through which that cannot take place anymore? Because if you think that there is time, there is no time at all for the opposition to get its acts together.
But the evidence that the opposition is infiltrated is because they have demonstrated 100% control over the judiciary and the National Assembly. And what they are offering is enticing. It is difficult for someone to say no. I remember the president was quoted to have said, allegedly, that what money cannot do, more money can do. And that is the kind of democracy that we found ourselves. Now, more money is giving more results. Even this, the campaign that you are seeing, which for me is the peak of their campaign, is as a result of lack of better dividend of democracy to show that the campaign now has become the dividend of democracy. So people are not decamping for free. People are decamping for something. And that is how, when your party is rendered useless, you have no option than to accept the offer to join the APC like a saving boat. But I am assuring you, we've seen this kind of thing go in Abacha, where even all political parties adopted him as a candidate. But while that is going on, God just intervened. So I think in the case of Nigeria, we are used to seeing the worst, and then all of a sudden, when all hope is lost, then an invisible hand will come in and change things around. So I believe so much that, and we're getting close to that. In no distant time, it will be very clear that those who jump into the ship of APC will sink with the ship.
Those who jumped into the ship with APC will sink with the ship.
Yes.
All right. So let me ask you, the Labour Party, are they still existing? We've not heard anything about them so far. You're still there. So we've not heard talks about certain irregularities. We've in Anambra State, where Kingsley, the Labour Party Anambra governorship aspirant, failed. We've not heard any official statement from the Labour Party either speaking to say, okay, we accept the fact that we're defeated, or, you know, claiming, just like the PDP did and the ADC did and the APC did, that they were vote buying and they cannot accept the result. So what's happening in that aspect?
Well, I believe the leaders are still studying the situation and what happened. In no distant time, there will be a statement. But for now, not to say this about the Labour Party. We've had judgment.
You had what, sir?
Supreme Court judgment.
Okay.
In favor of the Senator Nenadi Uthman,
Okay.
Labour Party. And that has not been enforced. And it is part of the abuse of power. And that is because we believe that those Julius Abure and Farouk have the backing of the ruling party to continue to frustrate. If not, how can you have a Supreme Court judgment and yet it is not enforced? And INEC is not doing anything about it. In fact, in the last quarterly meeting, INEC invited Abure again to its meeting. You see, when a dog does not bark for nothing, it doesn't matter saying something that your eyes cannot see. So, if you can read in between the lines, you know that these things are not normal. So, but as I said earlier, everything is coming to an end. Those that are leaving Labour Party, let me tell you, after 2023, there are those that join Labour Party for the sake of their stomach. Those that join for the sake of Obi as a person.
Okay.
And there are those that join for the sake of Obi's principles.
Okay.
It resonates with their own principles. And those that join for their stomach have since left for PDP, for APC. And then those that join for Obi are now beginning to lose hope, because they are beginning to think perhaps Obi is not serious, Obi is not going to get the ticket. But for those of us that join for the principle, Obi, that we believe is the principle that will give us a new Nigeria, we are still there. If we are waiting, no matter how long it will take, we are waiting for our principal to take action, because wherever he goes, we go together. Where he stays, we stay. So we continue to be patient until we see him emerge or another person with similar principle. We are not just going to fall cheap for anybody. We don't just want a change of government. We want a change of Nigeria.
All right.
That is it.
But a couple of people think that Toby's taking his time too long, and that his supporters who need direction, who need to know what is up, what to do, they are literally waiting, and they're beginning to feel defeated in their mentality. Some of them still believe that they're just waiting for him to declare what he intends to do. Yesterday, Satanko reeled out that about 7 different political parties are still lobbying Mr. Peter Obi to join them, so that he's trying to ensure that he joins a political party that will make sense, and not the one that what transpired with the Labour Party. But people think that he's taking too long to decide on what to do, and that there are persons waiting for him so they can start organizing, start structuring, start putting things on the ground. That 2026 is already here.
Well, but the election is not here. Timetable is not out. Primaries have not started. Where are they rushing to? You can't be holier than the Pope. I'm telling you, there is something that is attracting them. You stand by your principles till the last minute. You don't stand by, you don't move because others are moving. You move as you are ready to move. A good decision takes time to make. And if Obi is taking time, it's because he's taking time to take a good decision, the right decision. He led many to Labour Party, and only to realize that it was a wrong decision. So must we continue repeating the same mistake? So I am 100% behind Obi. Let him take his, so that when we are moving this time around, we will not regret where we are going to, and we'll be confident that the vehicle we will use will take us to the destination.
All right. So, what do you think that the president has assured Nigeria that the economic policies of his administration is reshaping the country in the right direction? He has also assured Nigerians that we're already out of the dark tunnel, and that things are beginning to show some sense of light. Do you think that most of the policies rolled out, it's not possible that all of them will be accomplished in this first 4 years? But which of them has been accomplished if you've gone through the president's manifesto or the president's initiative or policies?
Well, for me, there is none. There is no indication that we're even making any headway. Look at it. Look at what Jonathan was able to achieve with subsidy removal. But now we have a president who removes subsidy and is still borrowing money. So I don't understand. It does not add up. Then are we going to ask of what we have used the subsidy money for, or we are going to ask what we are using the borrowed money for? And he's still borrowing more money. And things that the last time I went to buy ice fish here in the north, we used to call it moose in Lagos. Nobody wants to even buy it because the cheapest thing. But I bought one the last time, 8,000. So how is the economy progressing? How is the policy making headway? See, it is not in GDP, NI, and so on. It is in the reality. How has the life of the common man changed? How has employment increased? How has welfare increased? Even the social policies of giving money to students on loan. What we've not seen it. We've not had anything. It's like dropping a drop of water in an ocean. It's not yielding any results. So sincerely, for me, I don't see anything working except for them that are in government. The things are working for them, but the millions of Nigerians were yet to see the impact of this administration. Well, the economists he assembled can tell him in theory that we're making progress. It was worse when we started. Now we're somewhere better. But the truth is, for the ordinary Nigerian, even the worst regime, which people consider Buhari regime, is better than this one in terms of management of the economy. And I can tell you, this is how they will keep deceiving us. That 4 years is not enough. Let's give it more time. And in 8 years, nothing will change. Nothing will change. They will still be asking for more time.
All right, Elder Yusuf Dambaki, thank you so much. I know you promised to give me a little of your time, and I sincerely appreciate it. I'll reach out to you as well if I need any more clarifications on some issues of national import.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Elder Yusuf Dambaki is a top Labour Party member in Kaduna State, representing Kaduna State. He's also part of the Obedient Movement. I have been trying to contact Yunus Atanko since yesterday, but his line has been switched off. I've been wanting to ask precisely what is going on, especially with what one of the Obedient Movement leaders, Maurice Moye, wrote. But however, it seems the movement seems to be moving on, and the principal, Mr. Peter Obi, however, too, has not responded concerning anything unlike that. Some persons in the Labour Party are waiting for Mr. Peter Obi to decide what political party he intends to join before they also join him to be part of it. Mr. Tony Mbata, thank you so much for your patience with me and Mr. Lawale Kundayo.
Yes,
I'm going to ask this question to both of you. The United Nations has raised concerns over the rising levels of hunger in Nigeria. They are warning that millions of people in the country are at risk of severe food insecurity. This was a report that was released on Wednesday by 2 UN food agencies, the Food and Agriculture Organization, that's FAO. If you buy some food items, especially packaged foods like all these children food items, you will see that FAO, meaning that it's recommended by them, and the World Food Program, WFP. These are organizations that assist when it comes to food supply to most African nations. So sometimes when you see some of those items, you write supported or in partnership or approved by FAO or WFP. Now the organization is warning that millions more people around the world, including Nigeria, would face famine as funding shortfalls worsen already dire conditions. And you already know that when Trump assumed office, he cut out some aid to some African countries. Some of these aids is what some of these African countries rely on, all right, especially places that have particular concerns going through the situation of insecurity. Most of these IDP camps are the beneficiaries of this USAID. Unfortunately, some of these grants have been cut off. Some of them, but some batches have not been released. Trump is inconsistent, is very uncertain when it comes to things like this. So some who have received their tranche, they're not really receiving, and they're not really giving out as they ought to, because they don't know if they'll receive another bout of the USAID. Now, the report also listed, according to this report, it's a Rome-based agency, the conflict and violence in these countries of concern, what is driving acute food insecurity in most of the countries are identified as risk factor countries. The countries they listed are Haiti, Mali, Palestine, South Sudan, Sudan, and Yemen. These are the worst affected, where the population is facing an imminent risk of catastrophic hunger. Now, Nigeria was also among countries classified as a very high concern alongside Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Myanmar, Somalia, and Syria. Others include Burkina Faso, Chad, Kenya, and the situation of the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. Should Nigeria be part of this list?
Is it a question that we need to answer? Yes.
But the president has said that we're coming out of the quagmire and we're seeing light in the tunnel.
Esther, let us discuss a little bit economist. Your disposable income as a worker has increased, or that your disposable income, what is the purchasing power of it? What you are buying 20 naira before, how much are you buying it now? Either 100 naira or thereabout. Now, has your disposable income increased? No. What is the government doing to make sure that you have a strong economy? What are we producing? We are not producing anything. The APC government is giving us rhetorics. We will do this. We have done this. Now, when we were speaking with that labor man, he said something. The fuel subsidy that the president removed, telling Nigerians that removing fuel subsidy, we are going to use it to do what? Economic empowerment or whatever, to develop our country. What has the fuel subsidy removed done to the economy of Nigeria? Nigeria are still borrowing money as if we have not removed fuel subsidy. He said something that was very important when he was speaking. He said, when Jonathan did not remove fuel subsidy, a lot of developmental issue or project was being done. But since they removed fuel subsidy, what have they done? What we are still seeing is propaganda. Now you are coming to agree the food shortage that they are telling us. It is reality, because farmers are no longer going to their farm to farm because of insecurity. They are being killed. I was watching something here while we are here. Some reverend fathers, they say they have killed 3 of them, and farmers are no longer going to farm. Some of them, most of them are afraid. So where are we going to have food to feed the nation? The government is remember there was a time APC government went and whether they bought rice and said this is rice pyramid. Buhari showed us and everything. Even they went as far as hiring plane from somewhere, giving it a name, Nigeria Airways. This is what we are seeing. So farmers are no longer farming. What are the things that motivate farmers to go to their farm? You go to your farm, you'll be killed. You will not go again. So there will be food. In fact, we are experiencing it in Nigeria, and the government is not doing, both local, state, and federal government are not doing anything in order to make sure. I went to village. I traveled to Umuahia, and they were telling me that even herdsmen are still eating some of their crops. I said, here in Umuahia? They said yes. And tell me, if the federal government or state government cannot do anything to protect farmers, where is this food coming from? We are going to face food scarcity, and the money that you want to use to buy it is not increasing. We need to make sure that farmers are being patronized, giving them what they need to farm. So they're not doing it. The little they are farming, they will bring it to the city. Many people will rush it, and the price of these things will go up. Now, if you check their transportation, where you are transporting this thing to the town or whatever, you see how much they are paying. So there will be fuel scarcity in this country, and we are experiencing it. It's not by because UN is telling us. We know this, and that's why we are crying that the federal government, state government, and local government should do something, not to be sharing this money, using it to do nothing, planning for politics that nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Do it now. It will reflect on people.
All right, Mr. Lawaya Kundayo, you heard about the 15% tax import duty, which will commence in the first quarter of 2026. At the time, they said there was no deciding factor. There was no delegated time. They hadn't delegated any time whatsoever. It's indefinite. But now it's been definite. First quarter of 2026. We're hearing the report of what the United Nations is saying about Nigeria's spike in hunger crisis. Now, there are obviously certain factors that they ruled out. Insecurity, specifically in these areas where there is more farming activity. Now, down here in the southwest, because of the fear, people can no longer bring their goods from the north. Those who bring their food from those areas pay tax to these terrorists along the routes. You also know that the road is also very bad, so they pay terrorists to allow their goods pass and don't kill them. They also pay some security agents on the road so they can allow them free passage. And during the raining season, we saw a lot of these trucks conveying food items got stuck on the road as well. So down here in the southwest, people have started buying farm. In fact, not just started buying farm, there have been people bought farmland so that they can farm, so you don't have to wait for food from that area. But at what point will food here be enough for the entire nation if persons are being displaced from their homes and they can't go to their farms?
See, Esther, now let me explain something. Maybe Nigerians, please listen. The first thing I want to clarify is that we are exporting something. We are exporting some things, but many of what we are exporting are done illegally. You should bear in mind. The if you take down this Chinese illegal mining in Nigeria, you will see that a lot of inflow of foreign cash will come into. Please get that in your mind, that we are exporting, but this Chinese illegal mining is one of the things that is ruining this country. And you know what China is doing to the world?
But the government has a very strong trade relationship with them.
Which strong relationship? China is one of our problems in this country. I'll clarify this thing. Okay. One, you produce substandard product. You produce product that is not good. You produce the original. You go to the market, you want to buy something, they will introduce the substandard to you first. At a cheaper rate, you buy it, it will not work, you come back again. You can see what does that do to our economy. We can't allow us to grow because we are third world country. We are supposed to be producing the substandard for ourselves. So anybody who wants the higher standard, well, you get that one by paying more. But these people, they do that so that before you know it, our economy, our industry begin to phase out. Now, that is that. Second is this tax policy. I don't know. You see, if you want to kill a country, tax the people. You get it? Go all over the world. If you want to kill a country, tax the people, because the people are the country. The people are the one to grow the country. They are the one to spend money for the industries to buy whatever is produced in the country. The money they have is what they will use to invest, and they tax them and see whether they will be able to survive. You see whether their country will grow. Now, I made a mention of something about that fuel subsidy that was gone. That a tailor who is using the electricity now is not there, it's erratic, is use any small money, he will get some money, buy fuel, run the generator. He can run generator for like 2 days, 3 days doing his business. He can do all his business and then go. Now you increase. I'm coming.
Well, I understand where you're heading. I'm talking about the food crisis.
No, because you mentioned the 15% tax. I'll shift to that food. There's something I'm going there, because I'm telling you how these things affect even up to the food. Even you take care of the issue of bandit, people will still have issues because when it comes to food, you need to invest. Now, what you want to buy to invest has increased astronomically. Where will you get money to do the investment? Where are you going to get money to farm, to run that family business, when you don't have savings? How are you going to get the money now? You want to buy fuel now to run your milling machine, your shelling machine, or your tractor. I don't know, where are you going to get the money to buy the fuel when it has increased? Where are you going to get the money to buy tractor when the price of tractor has increased out of your range? So how do you now invest? How? I know when I was rearing chicken that time, I know what I went through. Every week, if you go and buy feed, the price will have increased. The price of drug will have increased. Something will have, all this will have, by the time you are going by, you get tired. And then how are you going to sell the chicken by the time you finish? Who is going to buy when it has gone so high? I know how much I sold chicken. I know how much they are selling chicken now. So how do you now invest? You go and sit down now. You've been waiting for people who are already producing, so that all of us will now go there and buy, and then the price will increase. What is causing price increase? Because it is not enough. When the produce is not enough, the price will definitely go up. If you have 10 bags of rice, and then you have about 50 people that want to buy that 10 bags of rice, what will happen? The price will increase definitely now. So that is one of the things that is causing that price increase. Now, another thing is that I keep hammering on resource control. If your land is your resources, the land of a state is resources. If you are talking about the banditry, yes, they are there. We know they are attacking our food basket of Nigeria. But what about the other states? What about them? There's something you can do in your land. There's something you can do. Ogun State is there, Lagos is there, Oyo, Osun, the East, some other, many of those states could have come up to take over from these things. But what are they doing? All of them are waiting for money from Abuja to come. When the money comes, they share. But if there is a resource control, if it is arable land you have, you protect your land, you encourage your people to go into farming, and then when you encourage them, you make money from it. But see, every money will come. You said that the next thing they will start telling you some funny projects. we are doing road here, we are this and we are doing. That is not enough. That is why that National Assembly, everybody is complaining that National Assembly is a rubber stamp. When you say rubber stamp, that means something that cannot make decision on its own. If you go into resource control for each state, autonomy for each state, whatever you have, then you develop it. Land is one of the resources now. Look at what Ukraine, when Russia attacked Ukraine, the world suffered seriously. Do you remember?
All right, Mr.
So
okay,
we can achieve this.
Mr. Tony Mbata, thank you very much for that. The reason why I asked the question about food insecurity, because once there is food is the driving force of any nation. It actually tells you when the population of a nation is healthy, and when the thriving population for a populated country, Nigeria is a populous country in Africa. When a populated country like Nigeria does not have an ability to self-sustain itself, they rely on imported items. Those imported items, the question is, how many areas can it get to if the areas that need this food have been isolated because of insecurity? Now, Nigeria naturally used to export certain food items that is our own beyond oil. All right, I'm talking of agricultural produce. We used to export soya beans, local rice, which was actually quite admirable, cocoa, processed foods like palm oil and yam. Granite, exactly, and cotton. But there has been a reduction in that, because the communities that do this no longer do it, and a particular region that seems safe can not carry all the burden of doing that. Okay, so what you now see are exported items like preserved grains, gari, local rice, our own local noodles, ingredients like pepper, crayfish, and oil, especially for Nigerians in diaspora, because what you have there is not like what you have at home. That's basically what makes money now, how to export these items, because you can conceal them properly and take them. You don't have to go through some checks would be if you put some illegal items inside it. But most of the things that we used to export in food has dropped significantly. So why wouldn't we be going through this crisis, and what is the response of the government in tackling this? What I mean is that there should be measures to handle this, and we're not hearing any measures. The Minister of Agriculture, what palliative did they put in place? What mechanical structure have they put to encourage farming? The communities that are raided by these terrorists or these individuals, that is a home state for farming, what extra measures have been put in place in terms of alternative farming mechanisms so that food can continue to come? Because before we can export, we need to feed.
Esther, what you said, you are on point. Do you know how we come into this sovereign power, a nation governed by some set of people? Because you believe that organized society, you now have somebody you hand over your sovereign power to take charge and direct things for the good of the society.
Sure.
And whereby you handed your sovereign power, it is expected that the people in charge supposed to use it for the good of the society. But when you handed power, or some set of people, like they say, grab it, run away with it, grab this power, they don't know what to do with it, and people will suffer. That's why those of us who are Christian, the Bible says, when a righteous man is on the throne, people rejoice, but when a wicked man is there, people will suffer. How will a wicked man come into power? A wicked man will come into power when he grab it, snatch it, kill, and run away with it. Now, food insecurity will come because the government, like Ekundaya was saying, the Chinese, they are giving us some standard, they are doing this, they are doing that. The question my mind,
Nigeria has a good
I want to ask him.
No, we need to be factual.
Yes, I want to ask him.
Yes, Chinese may do substandard. It's what you want.
No, that is wrong.
Let me finish.
Mr. Lawa, hold on.
We are getting it somewhere.
We need to be very careful with our assessment and be very factual too. When you go to China to buy whatever it is you want to buy, it depends on the kind of quality that you
even in America.
Even in America too. It depends on what. Hold on now, Mr. Lawal. It depends on what you're able to buy. They have different categories. It depends on you. When they come in and offer you stuff, you check, you ask questions. You don't let them come and invest if they're going to invest something substandard. It's what you are able to afford with them. And there are other agreements as well, as creating job opportunities, doing some social development projects in Nigeria, ease of doing business too. But there are other concerns, like you mentioned, about illegal mining taking place. And it's not just China. You have Albania, you have Afghanistan, you have Pakistanis in most of these mining sites, mining without giving the money to the government, or maybe, who knows, some persons in the government are accessing the fund for themselves. But we're looking at the larger scale of Nigeria's almost over-reliance on China's influence in our economy, which a couple of people think is dangerous.
Esther, like I was saying, and you touch it, it depends on the government of the. That's why I went into historical, how we handed our sovereign power to people to govern us. Now, when you allow a foreigner to bring in some standard goods, and these things will cross through border, and they're not crossing through border. We have institutions to check them and to know what they are bringing, and those institutions are not working. Who are you to blame? Is it not the government that you are supposed to blame, because we have given this power to take care of us?
Mr. Tony Bata, I want to correct something.
Okay.
China gives you what you want.
That's what I'm telling you. We are saying the same thing.
No, you're saying that there are institutions that should check the kind of things they bring. It is what you ask that they give you.
Who are the people asking?
I'm just telling you. So let me give you
Let me learn.
I'm coming to that area.
Who are the people asking them to be Nigerians?
Yes.
And whose border is he coming in? Is it Nigerian border?
Obviously.
Who are the people to check what is coming into Nigeria?
Is it not Nigeria?
When we have, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am. When you're supposed to have a regulatory bodies that regulate, like NAFDAC, other son, that will tell you that even though you are bringing these things is against what the standard of the country is.
Okay, let me ask you, what are the kind of products that Chinese persons bring in here? And I'm trying to tell you that it is Nigerians that import these things.
Let's argue. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, hold on now.
Let me ask you, what do we export to China? Tell me, what do we export to China? China will not take what is produced.
That should be another point. Well,
they don't allow it now. China really allow you to sell anything in their country.
Mr. Lawal,
go and find out.
I remember I mentioned something about Nigeria's over-reliance on China that begins to dictate our economy, and is a dangerous trend. But where we were discussing from was China's investment in Nigeria and the potential benefits Nigerians are benefiting from it, and the ease of doing business, the flexibility of doing business with the Chinese people. And we're talking about what they bring in. It is based on what you agree with them that they bring in for you.
There's what standard? You know that?
Obviously.
There's what standard. That's why they say China doesn't play by the rule. China doesn't play by the rule.
Excuse me. Don't you have a government to regulate what Chinese are bringing? You have a are you telling me you don't have government?
Look at that illegal mining to China. You think their government doesn't know about it?
My project was impact of the multinational companies on less developed countries of the world. I went into it and I discovered a lot of harm these multinationals are doing to the country. And I discovered that our leader, let me borrow from Tofri Danjume, they are colluding with these people in order to bring these things. So that's why I'm saying
they collude with them to saturate our markets with substandard products that are not meeting up with world standard.
Let me tell you one.
Okay.
Go to Wharf, where the Apapa or wherever, where they have these people, the custom. Why is it that you're supposed to do a physical check to know what is in the container? They will look the other side. Some of them, you will see, they will write their presidency, and they will not check it. They will bring it into the country. I remember when these things are being imported into the country, a lot of things are being imported, both sickness and all the rest of them. And if you don't have the body to checkmate these things they are bringing to the country, China went to make money. They went to make money, and these things are business. That's why your government has to come in and checkmate what they are bringing in order to make sure that the local industries will not be killed. not to make sure that the local farmers, the things they are bringing that are calling it food, local farmers can produce and people will buy what they produce. And when your government do not checkmate this thing, they will bring most, even you see Gary from China will come and you know the Gary because they are coming to allow these things. They are not protecting the local farmers. They are not protecting. Let me tell you.
I need you to harness that point. The protection of the local farmers, which has discouraged us from local producing to export.
When you don't protect them, these people will come. They want to make money. Let me tell you, for the past 6-7 months now, I have not produced because cost of raw materials have gone far. I cannot. All my staff are redundancy. Is it good to local production? No.
All the staff are redundant. They're not working. They're not working because salary.
You see, for me, pay who? If you don't produce, when will I pay you? So the government of the day, all these things boil, and that's why I started by telling you that our sovereign power is given to people. Take charge, control us, make sure we live well, make sure that we do business and progress. But you are not doing it. You are doing it out of your own selfish aggrandizement to please yourself. And tomorrow you come and play propaganda. Nigeria did this. The things are moving. The indices are showing that nothing is happening.
Sorry, let me chip this in. Wait, just 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute. Why is it that fairly used product from abroad, compared to the one that is new in Nigeria, is always better? People prefer the fairly used to the new one in Nigeria.
Come to that.
Because the fairly used one is standard. The country will never allow anybody to bring substandard into their country. That's why fairly used is always better than the new one in Nigeria. Have you noticed that?
I don't understand this.
You don't get fairly used
better than what you want.
Yes, in Nigeria.
Why?
That is it, because
the standard they are bringing here is bad. But those Tokumbo are the standard that they say this is what, like America will tell you, this is what we can take. Okay. Now people will go to Tokumbo instead of new ones.
All right, let's take a very short break.
Customer, welcome. What you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Cutout fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy duty copper.
Oh, come, I get am. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Slatter Star J cutout fuse and distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller and solar panel.
But Oga,
don't worry, I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover cutout fuse, Slatter distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover-wise pan foolish o. Slatter Star J Indian product na #1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Slatter Star J na you biko.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome if you're just joining us. You've actually missed a little bit, well, quite a lot, but we'll continue from there. So Nnamdi Kanu has actually sued the Nigerian Medical Association, sued them over forged documents that they presented concerning his health. Okay, for him, he sued them. He instituted a 550 million naira lawsuit against the NMA and 10 medical practitioners over an alleged falsified medical report issued against him. This was disclosed by one of his lawyers, Barrister Maxwell Okpara, in a video that was posted today on Facebook. The lawyers representing Kanu accused the NMA of fabricating a medical report on Kanu's health without conducting any examination as ordered by the court. Will this make any difference? Because there are talks that in the next 6 days a judgment will be passed down concerning Nnamdi Kanu's case. Do you think these are one of the tactics? What is this supposed to actually create?
Yeah, if the court said that Nigerian Medical Association should go and conduct a research or medical research on somebody, and it happened that they did not conduct such a thing. I think,
and they wrote a report. A medical report.
They have done that. So it can impede the judgment because you're saying this, that my lord, you say these people should do this based on this and this. They didn't do it. So do you think that the judge will continue giving the judgment over the case, knowing fully well or after investigation that these people did not do it?
Going on in this country? I don't understand this country.
So let us wait what will happen.
God. I don't understand this country anymore. Seriously. That is a medical association that is internationally recognized. And then you didn't call it.
You saw what happened today. Somebody was crying that Wike destroyed their farm in Abuja, what they have, all the rest of them. But Wike was somebody telling us that even with the court order, the lady was crying with the court order, retreating Wike and all the rest of them not to do anything. But Wike did not respect court order, according to what the lady was saying. But Wike will come and tell us that people cannot obey court order. Which court order are you obeying and this one you are not obeying? When court will not say don't demolish, you go ahead and demolish. And when the army will mount on their security men to checkmate your excesses and you are crying.
All right. God. Well, the DSS has arrested Buhari's ally in Lagos over forfeited property dispute. Men believed to be operatives of the Department of State Services today arrested Ikechi Emenike, a political ally of former President Muhammadu Buhari, at his office in the Surulere area of Lagos. At least 6 men, some armed, arrived at the premises of the DER publications around 2:30 p.m. and introduced themselves as personnel from the DSS office in Shangisha. Witnesses said the operatives did not present a warrant before taking Emenike away into waiting vehicles and they drove off. They have also not issued any public statement regarding the arrest of the former ally of late Muhammadu Buhari. Emenike's wife Uzoma serves as a Nigerian ambassador to the United States of America under the Buhari administration. So the Abia-born politician actually did enjoy close ties with late Buhari while the former president was in power. What do you think has transpired?
They say they didn't show the arrest warrant.
Yes, normally they do that now. They'll just come and take you.
See, that's why when you look at Nigeria holistically and how the institution have been operating, you are afraid. Remember when Buhari did what? But
there are other allies of Buhari's. There are other allies of other region of former President Muhammadu Buhari. We've not seen such take. So what happened in this instance? What could it be related to? Because she was Nigeria's foreign ambassador, or could this be the designation of particular concern to Nigeria? Because if she was a former ambassador to Buhari at the time, in what?
But
for the DSS to come to your houses for the DSS to come to your house, it could be of security concern.
That's
definitely information.
That's definitely the reason.
That for the DSS to come and take you off.
They should give him arrest warrant.
Apart from that, the moment you take him, you need to let the world, you need to let the citizens be aware of what is going on.
When they take you in, you'll be with them for days. Remember that.
So that's what I'm worried about.
When the prosecuting counsel was treating Nnamdi Kanu's case, you remember that some of the interrogations that they had with Nnamdi Kanu at the time, he had no legal representation. And Nnamdi Kanu said that most of the statements he made were under duress. They kept him in that DSS custody for days or even months before they allowed him to have access to his lawyer. And certain statements were made.
We're going to get experts to look into this so that we know how the operation is, so that we will not dabble into what we cannot analyze.
It is not dabble into anything. It's the usual protocol of the DSS. They take you in. They wouldn't give you access to a lawyer. They will interrogate you. They want to get your first statement or whatever it is they want to get from you before you have access. Meanwhile, you're supposed to have your legal counsel, your legal practitioner, your representative with you. The same thing too with the police. They do that. They come take you. They will harass you before they will even allow you to have a phone call. It's their system.
All the evidence they have or the statement you give cannot stand at the court of law. It cannot stand, because when a police speak to you, you're supposed to have access to your lawyer, or they provide one for you. But when they force you, you gave all those false evidence. It cannot stand, except the kind of judiciary we are running. Honestly speaking, it cannot stand.
They will not even allow you to make a call.
You
collect your phone.
They will take everything from you. You wouldn't have access. If that man was alone in the house and the wife was not there, she may even come and not know what happened. She will start shouting that her husband has been kidnapped. It's a system that's how they do it. But do you think this could be real to a couple of issues? The Trump situation, sources about how he got his, you know, the supposed alleged coup, whatever, on the presidency. We've not gotten any update about it anymore. So I don't think it's related to that. So what precisely could be the situation at this point in time?
My own headache is this. We are all citizens. No matter, even the president is a citizen like every other person. The only thing is that we submit our sovereignty to him to make the country work for all of us, plus him, plus the governor, plus the DSS, all of them. We are citizens. So when you are doing your work, it's like you go to a bank. At a point you tell them, of course, you make a complaint based on the fact that you are, they are working for you. These two people are also working for us. DSS is working for Nigerians now. So what you do, even if somebody has done something wrong, you still have to, follow the due process, so that even when you pick the person, you need to now come up with what you have against the person. Then you now lead the person to his right, the due process, and everything will be fine.
I wanted to bring something here when Buhari was in power, when they say they did a sting operation to former Justice of Federation, and you ask yourself, is that sting operation? No. You see, in this country, things are being done upside down. What is sting operation? It's like those of us that read this book, No Longer Artists, when they gave that man a marked dollar, as soon as he no longer artist,
yes, it's no longer artist,
and put it, they apprehend him.
That's an evidence.
Marked dollar. That is process of sting operation. But this one, you see DSS army station somewhere, they want to arrest what? So Nigeria is a place that you don't even know how they operate, how we operate, because all of us are Nigerians. Sometimes you become confused.
And another thing is, like Esther said, which I've noticed, everyone have complained, they will arrest first, charge you to court, and then you now start the investigation. You see, that's why you see the EFCC is also doing that. You see, many times you see the person they charge to court, the court will free the person. When you have arrested the person, you have intimidated, you have traumatized the person, and at the end the court will free the person that you don't have, and you begin to wonder.
I want a case like that.
While banners projecting Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde for 2027 presidential race flooded the Ibadan venue of the PDP's National Convention today. This was at the Adamasingba Stadium in Ibadan, the designated venue of the PDP's November 15 to 16 National Convention. Large campaign posters bearing Makinde's photograph were mounted prominently at the entrance and around the facility. We've heard that Governor Seyi Makinde intends to run in 2027. He has not yet said anything though, and that could be one of the reasons why he distanced himself from the supposed G5 group of the PDP. You remember he and Nyesom Wike used to be very close, but they're no longer close allies, with some altercations that have been made in public. Others feel that how can Seyi Makinde want to contest the 2027 elections when his brother is also going for the run, although with a different political party. Just yesterday there was a protest in the same Ibadan over some roads and properties thereabout. And so I don't know, what does this signify? What does this mean? Is this just a preamble? Is it just to test the waters?
Do you know that even when the president visited Benue, they did the same thing? So it's now becoming a norm. They just put your poster idea as you are contesting and everything.
No, sir. Seyi Makinde's intention has
I'm not saying
it's a poster.
Excuse me,
it's a presidential ambition. It's his presidential ambition.
I know. What I'm saying is that you want to do convention of
no,
PDP.
sir. What the Benue situation is different from this.
I have.
Have you started campaign?
That's what you're supposed to say.
Now. So that's why I said that's not. No, I'm saying it has now become a norm. You get when nobody's checking it.
When the president was visiting Benue, he was visiting Benue. Not that the governor was campaigning for anything. I'm talking about the banners that we're seeing today. Were banners Seyi Makinde for president 2027.
That is what
under the PDP.
You see. I am saying, you get it, that this thing, you see campaign even before the year after the normal swearing, you see campaign and every other. So it now becomes a norm. Anywhere you have your opportunity, you just use it anyhow you want. You want to do convention, you are putting your posters as if they are coming there to campaign for you.
Supporters, or it's not him.
So he's the governor now. Wait, he is the governor. He controls. He has some influence over the police and security of that state. So they didn't see them when they were placing the poster.
Esther, I have a different opinion on this, because I know that Sheyi Makinde has been nursing ambition, and that should be the issue between him and Nyesom Wike. But that thing may not be Sheyi Makinde's ambition. Yes, I because remember that if assuming, let us assume that Sheyi Makinde picks PDP party ticket to be their presidential flag bearer. And remember that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from Southwest. Now, assuming Sheyi Makinde wins that election to become the president of this country, is he going to go for 4 years or 8 years?
I don't think that falls into the
what I'm saying is that I am beginning to sense some political buhara.
There's no political buhara.
Within the PDP.
There's already a political buhara within the PDP.
The way I'm talking about PDP with the emergence or coming up of Sheyi Makinde's poster now as the president in 2027, something is fishy.
This is
maybe next time we divert into this and get more truth about it.
Sheyi Makinde's intention has never been hidden. Okay, we've heard about it. Adetokunbo Pierce had made mention of that. He was the first person who told us that Wike and Sheyi Makinde are no longer together. They're no longer friends. And if we have noticed this political space, they no longer communicate. We're not saying we're not thinking about it, but these are the things happening. The convention, there were two different court orders. A court order said they should not hold the convention because they refused to allow Sule Lamido pick up the APC, the PDP chairmanship form. Then there's another court order which said they can go ahead with the national convention. Bukola Saraki is saying that they should not hold the convention because there's no serious political leader in the PDP right now that is worth to represent them. But as it stands as of today, there are banners of some support groups of Governor Sheyi Makinde, since the convention is to take place tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday. I think 15 to 16 thereabout. 15 and 16. So that is maybe Sunday and Monday, something between those 2 days. Today's 14, right? Okay, so tomorrow. So the idea is, you guys, this is what we want. I don't know if it's a pressure thing, but that's basically what's going on in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take your calls right about now.
This is a game.
The number to call is 080-3692-9933 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you? Good evening. What's your name? Sir? Koboko, your line they always break. Where you they call from? Hey. The line is bad, sir. Please call with another line. Hello, good evening. How are you? 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Sandy.
Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Okay.
Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. What's your name?
Sandy Cat from Ikoton.
Oh, St. Wike. Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay.
Welcome.
First and foremost, I'm going to miss you after during this your leave.
Now just 10 working days now, Guinea.
No, on our food scarcity and the insecurity and what have you, and the ripple effect on importation and of substandard. In my own view, like you have challenged or you have made your guests to understand. I think it is what we request for that they are giving to us, and they are giving us those things based on our purchasing power. Because when you go to China and what have you, they present their product to you. You buy based on your purchasing power. Even here in Nigeria, to buy things, even locally made things, we buy based on our purchasing power, on our income. The purchasing power at home is very poor. Like somebody that is being paid 70,000 maybe 2 years ago, and they now increase it to 300,000, and what you were buying 2 naira before has now become 100 naira. So it is going to have ripple effect on your. Hello? People are being taxed. Are we being taxed like the people in UK and US? We are not being taxed like those people, but their purchasing power over there is very strong. That is just, we have to work on the home economy, our purchasing power here, and tackle insecurity. When we tackle insecurity, farmers will be able to go to farm and make produce for the people to consumed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanvake. Thank you. That was intellectually apt.
Yeah.
08036929933. That's the number to call. All right, and the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. While the number to call is 08036929933. 08036929933. Oh yes, I think I have a call on WhatsApp. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Hello. Good evening. What's your name? Hello. Good evening. What is your name? Well, now when they call on WhatsApp, you know your network not too good. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Welcome.
Good evening,
What's your name, sir?
my name is IBB, calling from Egbeda.
IBB from Egbeda.
Yes.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, like your guests were all saying, what they said were all right. This what you want is what people will give you. Like people will say, you deserve what you get. The kind of government you which is what we have. Because we don't speak with the wrong voice. That is why we are suffering with the mess we are economically, politically. Understand? When APC started this campaigning of feeling that they want to help Nigeria with occupy spaces in Ojota there. Almost about 95% of Nigerians were at the back of them. Even we are getting it right. That this man then, Goodluck, was not a politician. He should go back to classroom. And this is what we are seeing economically. So you do not expect a man who the purchasing power has gone very poor on the sound in terms of exchange rate. He calculates the money he takes out of the country to go make an purchase. He gets there, he brings market, tie down, and nobody will enter the shop to buy. So you have to go for what is sellable. That is just it. So that is the aspect of the economy. Then politically, when we are talking about PDP issue, I will say Makinde is a semi-brother of Wike. So whatever that is happening to Makinde today, or the rest of them that left in still remain in PDP, it's just like when a man is sick and people will use the proverb that you are worse than the person that is sick. You know why? Because you feel the pain more than the person. In the sense that the person tells you go and bring this, you go. So at the end of it, you feel more weaker than the person that is sick. So that is what we are saying today. So let Makinde face what the music he started with Wike. They are feeling that he was fighting for Tinubu. Very good.
Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio, Biko. I beg. Hello. When I picked his call, that's when he took it off. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey Esther, you don't pick my call this night. Now wow, this your leave go dey enjoyable.
Now make a rest now.
AB from Ekpe speaking.
Welcome. How you doing?
See, I understand journalism is not easy, but DOP should please tone down. You know, most of the things I hear from your station, I don't know. I don't want to say they are fallacies. Okay. Somebody said that Jagaban said grab it, run with it, and kill. He never used that word kill. Okay. Please, then that word is a word that means tenacity. Okay. I've attended motivational meetings. Okay. There is a way they cheer you up with such words like that. That's why he used that word. Please, we should try and
grab it.
You know, those days when we are watching NTA, we learn a lot from NTA. We grew up with you. There are a lot of fallacy. What does every that guy is really doing something good for this country for the very first time in the FCT. You know, people like that, we should give them kudos. Fine. He did not do well, by going there. You know, we used to see in the military, those military men, they sacrifice their life for us, so they should be treated specially. In fact, most of their apartment, you will see military zone, keep off. You know, we should treat them specially. Shouldn't have, although he's doing his work, I like what he's doing, but since they are military, and I heard that one of the minister told him not to venture, that they will look into. You should have listened. So, but we should not be castigating with him too. That guy is really doing a good job. Are you getting me? Thank you.
Is that
have a wonderful day?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so it's 36929933. Mr. Tony Bata, he said president does he kill it. He said it's not in the context that the president's.
We can deny that he's saying you are a fool. Why would they deny?
When something will say
Hello, good evening.
Welcome. I want to talk about the position that the people are saying that APC don't have a position. Nigerians are suffering and dying for hunger and bandits here and there. So APC have a position.
Okay.
In fact, we are the opposition. May God bless you, my sister.
All right.
So we are not fools that we will continue suffering in our own country like this. In before 2015, when they promised us heaven and earth, and then we follow them, we campaign for them and vote for them, that our life is going to be better than what we are seeing there. That's what many Nigerians believe. They vote for them on and then APC change, promising us that when they come in, that we are going to buy dollar for 40 naira there. Many things, and the refinery that are not working on that PDP, that all of them will work. Today, many Nigerians have died for hunger. So they have a position. Nigerians are waiting for them.
Okay.
So that magic that they want to perform, let them ready. Nigerians are waiting.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good evening. Let me call you like Barista Duality. Esther. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
good evening, sir. Nice to
God
meet you.
bless you, Nigerians, for our good work.
Amen. And you too.
Esther, make a reverse back about Barista Duality talk. Make I just ask one question. Esther, beg, we be our neighbor. When we gather go school together, unless the bulldozer and the tractors when they break, on never reach those tractors until they work. At least from now to 6 months, from now to 3 months, I'm supposed to do a vet or something like thank all those things.
You remember that friend in school where he said,
and then God bless Barista Duality. These are words some people disabled they make, and some people they call the toss of kind exercise. I don't know what Belarus will make it comments now. Maybe now the food side that they complain for. Because you have a big problem for us. It's a big problem. God will bless you. I thank you. Mr. Tony and Mr. Kuda,
Thank you.
God will bless you, Nigeria.
Yes, and you too.
so can you guys recall when the president was inaugurating some tractors in Abuja, where he mentioned his friend in school as Chicago Alex? Apparently Alex is the one that was in charge of that project or something, but there was also an issue. Some northern states, the terrorists warned them not to accommodate or absorb mechanized farming, that if they see it, they will destroy it.
Okay, I didn't get that.
When the president inaugurated those tractors, some northern states where these terrorists hold sway warned that they would not accept those tractors in the farms. They prefer the farmers to come and negotiate with them, because you negotiate with them, they provide you security. But with the mechanized farming, the farmers don't necessarily have to do much, and things will be as fast as possible.
Esther, when non-state actors begin to dictate what will happen in the state and it happen, what does it show? It shows that this is a failed state now.
Then moreover, there are 36.
How can you say a terrorist say they should not bring the...
No, I'm trying to recall the incident when the president inaugurated it that time. Is it
APC deceiving Nigerians.
Hello, good evening. How are you? No, it wasn't.
They are deceiving Nigerians.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
How many?
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. I'm so sorry. What's your name?
What is...
Oloye is my name.
Oloye. Oloye Sir, your voice is muffled though. Is your mouth too close to your mouthpiece?
Okay,
yes, it's better now. Hey, that's gone.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I have a very big problem.
Okay.
Since 1999, nothing has been happening. It's only Makinde is going to become the next president. Buhari and the other group, they gather together. Tinubu took over from here. Very conversation with that paragraph, also with that headline, and we are not going anywhere. Can you imagine here? Bandits here. Yesterday I saw on television where this Reverend Father were crying where they bring 500 in the pit. We for God's sake, I don't all we can think of is politics. Makinde is going to run for 2027. Tinubu 2020. Even if they don't do, but Atiku and the other people they gather together. What is our power? Are we insane? Are we in bondage? What's our problem? What can we do to solve this problem? We are suffering, we are dying.
Sir, the only thing you can do is to get your PVC and make sure you vote in 2027.
We have been voting. We have been voting. We are everything. Look, we have voted. We pray we are not going to vote if we not payment.
You're very right, Mr. Lawai. Mr. Lawai Kundayo. He's actually really very genuine point.
Right,
how do we tackle this?
Everywhere. No, nothing is working. And where you see our people, our political leaders, they are living helpless. We're in trouble. Please let us do. Hey.
Sorry, sir, you're very right. To be honest with you, 3 days ago, we discussed this. The reason why Nigeria was designated a country of particular concern, the brazenness of these terrorists in most of our communities, the conversation about Christian genocide or not, it became a political conversation. There are endemic issues. Food is expensive. People can't travel, no shelter, accommodation is expensive, hospital bill, you can't even buy drugs.
You can't even buy drugs.
The private hospitals are very expensive. These are issues that need to be addressed. Now they've told us to go meet our state governors for each of these states. State governors will tell you they are doing what they can do.
Can you even go to state governor?
Even when you try and go to the state government hospitals, before it gets to your turn, the person something may don't happen. And even the money to buy those drugs sometimes are not even available. So he asks a very genuine question. What should we do? Will Nigerians be waiting for 2027 even in the instance that they feel that their votes may not even be considered?
See, when your vote is not considered, you still have to consider it, because there's always many ways to kill a cat.
Before then, what should Nigerians do? Because this is what they are facing.
You need the solution to Nigeria's problem is Nigeria to do the right thing.
How?
Good. The right thing is this: if you know that your leaders are not doing well for you, then you do everything possible to make sure that you change the leader.
How?
And if the leaders are doing well for you, you encourage leaders and support the leaders. That is the way.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, my name is Chibike from Apapa.
Welcome, Chibike.
I want to say something about Wike.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Wike, army work is not your politician or is not your task work.
Okay.
So let him be careful.
Okay.
This thing what he's doing now is creating problem for his generation. Let him tell them. Tell him. Let people tell him. All those rubbish what he's doing now, there is time for everything. He will regret it for later. Thank you. Very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
08036929933. That's the number to call. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. 0817175638. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Hi, sir. Good.
Might up. Okay, we did here together now. You know, see.
This Ayawale Kanye Zain, anyway from Oshodi.
Welcome, sir. How are you today, sir?
If you are hearing me, I'm just hearing you slowly.
Okay.
Wetin I wan talk na this wiki issue.
Okay.
And if you can allow me to just explain maybe a little time. In the first place, army are not a police.
Okay.
I'm sorry to use that language for other people to know. Army, they are not a police. First. Secondly, manner of approach. A manners of approach is the most important thing in this life. Don't say because I'm the oga, I'm this and that. My dear sister, is a lie.
Okay. Hello.
If an army man handle you, you will know the difference between man and the woman. First. Secondly, I really salute that oga. May God continues his blessing upon that man, because he did a lot. Because minus that, we don't even know what will happen as I will do for today. Army, they have different kind of signal. They can use edge to give signal. They can use their eye to give any signal. They can use their hand.
Okay.
If that man should give order that very day, all this man I forget now to open fire. Who go die, go die.
Right.
The main point is that after President Tinubu for Nigeria, even army a step with one rope. He and the Tinubu almost the same equal. If you don't know, let's go and take note of all these things. Army represent a country. Anything you be for your own pocket as a politician, you don't represent anything. After army and navy, after navy air force, let them know the difference between man and woman. If you drink or you do blah blah blah, you go meet army, you go hear me. God bless you all.
Thank you.
People na dey announce to people, army no be police. Once again, Ayawale.
All right.
Thank you from Oshodi anyway, Baba Beji. God bless you all. Thank you.
Anyway, well done, sir. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you doing?
This is Joseph from Igode in Ogun State.
Joseph, welcome, sir. How is Ogun State this evening?
We are fine.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
You see, I thank you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you.
The program is so educative.
Thank you.
And I want to contribute on the issue of the man that called and asked about the solution.
Yes.
Actually, what is the solution to this thing? You see, the people that are afraid of vote. You know, if you look at that Anambra election, 20 million, 2 million registered, and only 500,000 voted. It's just because we are not sure of what our vote, whether our vote will count or not. That is the decision for the voter apathy. Now, if we are saying that we take our voters card for 2023, how are we sure that our vote will count? These are the things that is of a concern to us. So if we can help.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, 08036929933, 08036929933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, evening to you, my sister. How do you do?
I do okay. I am fine, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Azubike Christopher, calling from Lekki.
Azubike Christopher from Lekki. How is Lekki today?
Yes, everything very okay.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, I greet everybody in the studio.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, God bless everybody.
Amen. Thank you.
My contribution to this analysis is that I beg God, may God help us for this Nigeria. That is only God can save us from this situation, because man may fail, but only God cannot fail. And if we have one mind, as the other man said, to have one mind and do vote, see Anambra vote now, everything goes successful. If we have one mind, say God dey with the one mind, you know. Once we join our hands, God will be with us.
You say Anambra elections went successfully?
Yes.
In what sense, sir?
Sir, Anambra.
In what way did it go successfully?
Yes, Anambra State is going successful by normal voting. You know, say Anambra, if you know Anambra, time origin, this issue of
you know, see where they collect gala with one drink, with one 500 naira note.
1,000 or 500.
You know, see how?
Thank you. If they collect gala, they go collect the gala in full, you know. After they go do whatever they like.
Oh my God. All right, thank you very much. Okay, welcome. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I thank God. How you people?
We did. Please, what's your name?
My name is Chibuzo. I'm calling from Yanukwaja.
Chibuzo from Yanukwaja. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm greeting Mr. Kundayo and my brother Temin Bata.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So I want to say, you asked Mr. Temin Bata asked a question. Do you feel it? The reason we don't have government, we don't have. And we don't have a leader in the country. We have a ruler. So if you only want if you have a leader, they will have us at the back of their mind that they are coming to serve these people, not to lead these people to kill them. They are working on water country where the president common meeting for the citizens. When we came late, a young person stood up that place, raised out on that one, and the man did not return. He apologized with that. But can that happen in this country? Answer is no. And people are dying, and people are saying there is no killing in Nigeria, those in government. But I believe even if things is happening, and Buhari died now, I don't think he went away with 1 naira. He did not go with cover. So I believe all these ones should learn a lesson in this kind of thing, and let them know they are coming to serve people, not to even to lead them. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther.
How are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm fine. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Robert. I greet your guests. Good evening, sirs.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Esther, my own contribution is about this PDP convention coming up in, I think, Ibadan tomorrow. Is it Ibadan? Where is it?
Yeah, it's Ibadan. Damasinba.
So my point is that I am so worried about the various judgments given by our Nigerian court. The one in Abuja, we say the something cannot hold. Osun State, your state court, we say it will hold. The another one will now nullify it again. I don't know why it's like that. Why are they contradict themselves, Esther? And again, why are the courts behave as if they are APC members? Only one political party cannot be in the country now. Let them allow that political party to come on so that they can also contest for election. But the way, because of behavior, our judges, they are behaving as if they are members of the APC, which is very, very wrong. Thank you very much, Esther. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
They did it to Nnamdi Kanu too. They did it to many people, different conflicting. They did it to,
why must
Fubara
even invite Aburi for their meeting when Supreme Court have ruled?
Even they there was a time they said it's no longer, there was a time they removed his candidate. Later,
good evening. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Peter.
Peter, are you okay? You sound very dull.
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Peter. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Apapa.
From Apapa? Alright, go ahead, please.
I greet your guest.
Good evening, sir.
Turning back, good evening.
Good evening.
When you around 6 o'clock, when you talk about that, your guest that analyzed say that the APC don't have the opposition. We are talking about what is going on now. The masses, that's the opposition they have.
And let me, if I may ask that man, okay, for what is going on now, if they give the man, if they tell the man to vote now, is he going to vote for this? That is what we are talking about. The Nigerian people is the good position they have. What is going on now? Nigerian people, no matter the person that will come out to challenge them, that they are the flag for any party. Nobody interested for the APC, no matter what they are all the money they are giving out or something like. Anybody that views these people, that person, we need to check that person. Look at what is going on. What is happening? The price of things. All the people are dying. People are complaining, and they are lying. All the ministers. Nobody is telling us truth. Yeah? What they do too? They have thrown this upside down. We need change. We need change.
Thank you. Yeah? Thank you so much. Thank you. That was quite a passionate response. I'm going to take some of your messages now, all right? So please, if you're calling and I'm not taking your calls, please, I would implore you to please bear with me. Good evening, VOP. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. In a sane country, the president, ministers, senators, governors are the servants, not taskmasters or tax pay. Okay, not taskmasters. It's because they rig themselves into power using vote buying, other forms of intimidation, cash and carry, including a disputed judiciary. Well, this is truly there was a country. Lekon from Fagba. Thank you very much for that. Okay, this person says, good evening, Esther. Good evening to you, Mr. Lawal, Ekunda, and Tony Mbata. To add to your discussion where it concerns the Chinese operations in Nigeria, a lot of Chinese-owned warehouses abound in several locations in Lagos where they store in goods imported privately by them and resell to the local traders. Sometimes a local importer would clearly up such import, of which a good number of them ends up with questionable quality. In such a situation, is it the local importer's manipulation? There is always a case of lack of quality control and checks. Amutigwe Chukwudi. I think this is what Mr. Tony Bata was saying. Good evening, Esther. Please, why are you always happy on Friday, knowing full well that Saturday you will not be on air? Secondly, you're going on, yes, how will I be relaxing in the evening? Oh, don't worry, Chema has got your back. Chema will be here and you'll relax and get educated. So please don't miss the evening rush, okay? All right. Getting you on normal line is PhD exam. Meanwhile, the problem we're having in this country is selfishness and greediness of our leaders. Our leaders are out for business and not for governance. My name is John Amodu. John Amodu, thank you so much. But the line is very busy. Very much agreed. Now, there is a video, a picture of Willie Obiano saying that he woke up to hear a rumor making the rounds that he's alive and healthy. I have already corrected that, so thank you very much for this notification. Good evening, Esther Machwan, the guest in the studio. In summary of everything that happened between the SCT minister and the young naval personnel, A.A. Yerima, Wike should tender a verbal apology to the young naval personnel, the militaries at large, President Tinubu, and the good citizens of Nigeria and the entire world. Esther, Wike's conduct is considered arrogant, indisciplined, and disrespectful to the land grabbing in the FCT. Remy from Ejigbo. Esther, good evening. Please, VOP. All right, thank you very much. Gift from Agor. Yes, thank you. What circulated initially was that he had passed on. I remember at the time, I read it in the World News at 6. So the rebuttal, the response just came up. Good evening, Esther. I want to ask you a question. Did I offend you because you don't always pick up my calls? Please, I'm a fan of I only kind of Babaji anyway from you just called. Babaji just called now. You just called. I picked your call. So no, nothing, obviously. You just called now. I responded. And I pick calls at random. So nothing personal. Good evening, Esther Wanchuku, Messrs. Elvis, Ekunda, and El Dadam. All right, Mr. Elvis was in World News at 6, but he's not here this evening. Esther, looking back at our political history prior to the 2015 elections, nobody knew an APC will emerge in 2013 to take power from the incumbent PDP administration. An almost similar situation played out in 2023 with the Obedient Movement. Esther, post-COVID-19, no incumbent president had ever won a re-election bid in the world except Paul Biya of Cameroon.
opposition. Esther Machiku, don't ever say there is no opposition in Nigeria, because the largest opposition in Nigeria as of today are the electorate, who incidentally have a lot of Gen Z who are bitter about the current situation of the country. Esther, this emerging class of electorates are our Nigerian version of US swing votes. All right, thank you very much for your message. Good evening, Esther. My name is Chibuzo from Suriname. Esther, please, I saw a post saying the SCT minister saying in a broadcast that he will resign if the president does not protect him. Is this true? Well, there are insinuations from his supporters that he better be protected, otherwise he may resign. But what he has categorically said on air during his live appearance when he addressed the situation was that he never called the naval officer a fool, whereby we saw the video where all of those derogatory terms were given. All right, he defended the full context he meant towards the naval officer. He defended it, but said he cannot just call the naval officer a fool. All right, good evening, Esther. You're asking Nigerians to go and register for voters card. That just I have changed my phone. If not, I will show you the pictures of where they dumped people's voters card at Iwaya, Makoko, and the Dekuni area of Lagos mainland. Those three places were dominated by a particular ethnic group. David from Ipaja. All right. See this video. In fact, no. I don't know how recent this video is. Mr. Lamar Kundaya, have you seen this video?
Which video?
Where some travelers from Kogi and what they did to them. Please, this video, I don't like it. It's a terrible video. Good evening, Ezra, Mr. Mbata and Lawa. Wike saw someone that his face doesn't fear his own face. This is from Chief Udo. As for Nnamdi Kanu's matter, he never kidnapped for ransom or killed people. He never collected levies or tax from people and have not divided Nigeria. All he asked is for referendum. Please, I want to know if that video circulating where persons were killed terribly, their passengers, that video is terrible. I don't know if it's a recent video or is a past one. I don't know. Something needs to be done. You need to see that video. Somebody sent it to me earlier today. I couldn't focus. It's terrible. Hi, Esther, Mr. Lawal. The involvement of the U.S. in the destruction of these terrorists, be it killer headsmen, Boko Haram, bandits, and the new terrorists that has sprung up in Kogi and Kwara State is long overdue. The government's complicity and lack of political will in eradicating... God. Guys, please don't send me this kind of video next time, I beg. Esther, it is well with this country. A lot of us are struggling and ensuring that we live well, but we're coasting towards being a corporate beggar. The Lord will deliver us. Just pray that the Lord will not make some of us take our lives. Things have gone bad. Please, I beg you, don't. I've always said it. Help anybody that you know you can help. I beg you. Good evening, Esther and others at the studio. The president is borrowing money. He will share the money as if the money is from his pocket without investing the money. Now Wike is being like a person who smokes Indian hemp. I don't understand that Wike. APC is a destiny. Fred from Lagos, calm down. Good evening, Queen Esther and the guests in the studio. God bless the entire staff and management of VOP. You guys are doing great. Mr. Akunda, the fake product the Chinese produce that are brought into Nigeria is based on what our Nigerian importers request that they produce. In 2002, during my NYS in Araria, Abia State, I bought a bulb light from a seller in an attempt to test if it will light up. It melted. I asked why. He said it is Cherry type, that is, but if I want the original, it is available. Okay. All right. Esther, good evening and greetings to the guests. Your LP guest who joined online said APC is infiltrating other parties and that is not good for democracy. Can you ask him if he has heard about lobbying and self-interest in politics? It's part of the game, and LP and other opposition should organize themselves. Maurice Moya and others who left have said that the party is not organized. Obi doesn't listen or take advice. Only an idle man that blames his work too. Lawal with his hilarious quote again, if you want to kill the people, tax them. So UK with it overtax their people, they kill them. Abi, I get what you're trying to say, but the way you explain things can confuse your students. That's to you, Mr. Lawa. Mbata, I'm happy you no talk anyhow today. I hope say you go still insult person before end of the show as usual. Well done, David from Oshodi. Obed is okay. Obed.
I insulted you before.
I said it here, time without number, that as long as ADC is not properly galvanized and organized, they are only paving way for APC and Tinubu to continue in power till 2031. As long as Atiku from the north is still in the race under ADC, there is nothing like opposition, . quote me. It is Nigerians that go to China to tell them what to produce and bring them down here. I have many of them at Alaba. Chinese people don't bring in things here. Nigerians give them specimen. All the names you see on the bodies of the items from China are the names of the Nigerians that paid for the production of those items from China. All right, good evening, VOP family. Peter Obi told us he would take us from consumption to production. Majority of Nigerians supported, but some ethnic religious bigots cut over the wishes of majority. So we'll continue to depend on China because APC is only interested in borrow, tax, and spend. Esther, it's not all times China give you what to ask for. Those products in fashion called stock are items Chinese companies did for USA and Co. that they rejected. Don't trust Chinese people. I met you from Mafuluku. Good evening, my dear Esther. Do you know that same China are now making fake eggs or artificial eggs? They now make man-made eggs. I believe that those might be imported in to Nigeria. We're eating rubbish in Nigeria. China, don't finish us. All right, Mr. Lawal, in a minute, what would you consider to be the solution to this quagmire?
Which one?
Lots of them.
So if you see, I remembered when I was small. You see the textile industries here. We are supplying Africa. I've seen where they export soap, even gum, chewing gum to other African countries from Nigeria here, and then the whole thing just changed. You remember 5-star, all this Aswani, all those stuff, and the whole thing just died down. Now, do you know that these cocoa farms are being taken over by Chinese in Ondo and some other areas? This state government has sold some of them, so this land to them, they are leveling everything off. Now, who is going to protect? How do you protect our own? They will take over. They will start the Chinese produce. Will go and buy. So, what are we turning into?
Mr. Tony, what would you consider to be a recommendation?
Yes, I was thinking when somebody asks, I asked you to what is the solution? Do you know the solution? Nigerians should remove fear. Something happened when the people of Israel, an army laid siege against them, but 3 leprosy people say, we are going to go to our enemy camp. Even if we are going to die, it's better for us to die that place than to die here. And they went. Before they got to that place, they saw miracle.
All right.
So Nigerians, if I tell you how many people that call me that Tony, you are talking, your children are too small, they will kill you. Nigerians, we are too fear, we are afraid to die, and we are still dying. So we should come out, vote, protect our vote with our life, with everything. Things will change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Mr. Lawal, we'll take a very short break. We'll still continue. You kindly stay with us.